Stephen, we'll start. We tend to start a lot these days with the latest suspension news. What was your reaction to Alan's ban?
No reaction, just accept it and move on. Wes will play tomorrow. We've got full trust in Wes. He's been training really well, of a high standard, and hopefully we'll benefit from having two number ones rather than relying on a keeper who's classed as a number two. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how Wes does.
In terms of Alan's challenge, do you look back at it now and
we've moved on. There's nothing to say on it. There's nothing to say on it.
In terms of, we'll forget the challenge then, the club have asked for a review of the disciplinary process. In terms of your opinion on it, do you sense that the process is flawed, or do you think that the process just needs better explanation?
No, all I can do is do my job, and that's to hope we get more consistency moving forward and focus on the next game, and that's the reason why I'm sitting here, and that's St Johnstone.
Is there a concern that all the talk of the decisions, the challenges, what does get punished, what doesn't, becomes a distraction because there's been a lot of it just by matter of circumstance around your team over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks?
We can't afford for it to become a distraction. We've just got to focus on the challenges in front of us. We've got a huge game tomorrow here at Ibrox, and my focus and my job is to make sure that the players focus on what's in front of us. We can't control decisions or what happens with bans and what happens at the SFA. All we can do is focus on the football.
You say you don't want it to become a distraction, but is there a frustration when obviously Alan McGregor gets his ban and then Alan Power at Kilmarnock on Saturday, and you felt like...
I've already gave my opinion on that last week. You were there in the press conference, so I'm not going to repeat myself. We've moved on from the Alan McGregor ban. We accept our punishment. The club have accepted it, and we move on.
The other thing that's happened this week is plastic pitches has kind of come to the fore again, the petition from the players. What are your thoughts on plastic pitches?
I agree with the players, or the majority of the players, in terms of trying to get them out of the game at elite level. I've gave my opinion on this before. I don't like plastic pitches. I didn't like playing on them. I think they're dangerous. I respect the teams that decide to put them in place for financial reasons. But for me, having been a player and now obviously coaching players, I believe the game would be in a better place if there was no plastic pitches.
Is it important that the powers would be that they listen to what the players say in this matter, because at the end of the day it's the guys that have to go out and put their bodies on the line?
No, I just think the people that won't agree to taking them out of the game, I think they have to think about the players' health and the safety. And for me, my opinion is players are a lot safer on grass.
In terms of, when you have a game, one of these substances come up, does it affect your team selection? Do you have to sit and alter your plans for playing?
In certain cases, it does. If certain players have got a history of injuries around the joints, maybe an ankle or a knee, of course you'd have to think about the player's health and safety, and also his availability moving forward. Of course we have to respect that, but that's just the way it is. There's nothing we can do right now. Our schedule's been very difficult because I think we've played on plastic 4 times out of 6 maybe. So we've had to obviously adapt the schedule around players, recovery, and also team selection as well due to that.
Does the 3 teams that have them, do they get an advantage from having these, perhaps an unfair advantage from having these type of pitches?
I don't know. I suppose they may be more used to it than the teams that play on grass every week. I think they train on it every day and they play on it, so I'm sure they'll be used to it. But we've learnt a lot on our games on AstroTurf, and we try and adapt sometimes the way we play. They're not surfaces that you can afford to be overplaying on, or you have to be careful. We lost some points early after the winter break by doing silly stuff on that type of surface, and we paid heavily for it. So yeah, we have to adapt to it. But I think the question, going back to the question, is do I believe they should be in elite level football? No, I don't.
I think there's been some argument from the other clubs have had them, that sometimes it's a financial imperative, it's cheaper, they can make revenue from it, etc.
Yeah, I respect that. And I'm not saying that them owners or them clubs should dig deep and find the money. I'm not saying that, because I respect their positions and the clubs. But I believe the people that run this league should do more to make sure that it's played on grass. You know, these games are going out worldwide. Top players, we're trying to attract top players to the league, improve the league. You know, every other elite league plays on grass, so why shouldn't Scotland?
I think the point I was getting to was, think somewhat Netherlands, for example. I think sometimes the bigger clubs help subsidise pitch levels for other teams. There's an argument that could happen here, that all the teams put into a pot and it helps for.
I'm sure there's all kinds of different ways, whether it be TV, whether it be the PFA, whether it be the SFA, whether it be bigger clubs trying to support other clubs. I'd be all for that, because I just think football at the top level and top players should be playing on grass. And even, you know, your Hamiltons and your Kilmarnocks, I think if you ask them players away from the owners, I believe they'd rather play on grass than plastic.
Stephen, just looking ahead to the St Johnstone game, what do you expect from your opposition?
I think there'll be a reaction from St Johnstone. You know, the recent run of results. The recent run of results haven't been how Tommy likes it, if you like, because, you know, he bases his team on clean sheets and defensively being solid. So I think they've conceded quite a few goals recently, albeit against Celtic in a lot of them fixtures. So I think we're expecting a reaction. We're expecting a tight St Johnstone team who won't give much away, and a really organised team. So it'll be a good challenge for us. It's nice to be back at Ibrox, you know, on a Saturday 3 o'clock with a full house, and we're really looking forward to the game.
Does that mean there might have to be a degree of patience from your players, as you say, Tommy basing his team on clean sheets? The reaction might be them very much looking to keep a clean sheet first.
I'm sure Tommy is, yeah. You know, they had a fantastic run of results before the winter break, and then they've run into obviously tough fixtures since they've come back. But I'm sure after his recent results, he's going to be wanting to get back to defend them well and making it hard for us. But all I can do is focus on us, and hopefully we give the players a game plan to go and open St Johnstone up. The quicker we can do it, the better. But of course, if it doesn't come, we have to stick with it, not get frustrated and go off plan. We have to basically keep believing in what we're doing, and hopefully it'll come.
Glenn, you've played not far off 30 games so far this season. How do you assess your campaign so far?
I think at the start, obviously, just took the game to opposition players, and that's what I always try to do. I think the last couple of games I maybe tried to overcomplicate things, and I didn't really just go for it like I normally should be doing, so hopefully I can just get back to doing that.
Yeah, is the strength of your game kind of direct run and trying to be positive and not thinking about things too much?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm on the pitch to do, to run at people and make things happen for the team. So like I say, just try and get back to my best at doing that.
The manager touched upon the fact that other players are having to step in at the moment for various reasons. Is that where you guys see the benefit of a squad, strength in depth, and the fact that sometimes one guy will sit out, the guy steps in, and that's how you accept the kind of squad setup?
Definitely. We're all in this together. At the end of the day, we all want to achieve the same thing at the end of the season. So we're all helping each other in every game. Whatever we're asked to do for each other, we'll do.
When you've played in a couple of reserve games recently with some of the new boys, can you give us a sort of flavour of how you think they've done so far?
Very well. Even in training, I think it's clear for everyone to see that the qualities that they have. So yeah, they're only going to add to the squad and the potential that we can build upon.
Has anyone impressed you so far?
All of them. All of them really good.
Can you just give us a wee sort of flavour rundown of what you think each of them can add?
I think obviously Glenn Kamara is a holding midfielder who's going to win the ball back for you, but at the same time he can create stuff himself. Matt Post the same, he can drive forward from full back and make things happen, so they're only going to add to the squad.
Stephen, give us a wee run through team news, is there any ins or outs?
Jermaine's a doubt, Lafferty's a doubt, Golson's fine, Gresda's still a little bit away. Jamie Murphy started kicking balls, but obviously he'll be at best in the last few games of the season. We're hoping we can get him back involved. Graham Dorrans has had a setback, but we're not sure the extent of that just yet. The rest are all fine. Jermaine's had some tightness in his hamstring, and Kyle's had some tightness in his calf. So they'll do part of the session today, and we'll see and hope they'll both come through. We've pulled young Dapo back from international duty, just in case.
In terms of, I mean, you've already got Alfredo suspended. Is that a concern when you've got sort of your 3 strikers potentially out of tomorrow's game?
Yeah, it's a concern. It's a concern, of course it is. But we've got good attacking players. We may have to find a different way or a different plan, but we'll see how the next few hours go. Hopefully they pull through. They're both confident, and I'll trust the player, and I'll give them both every chance of being available, and we'll go from there.
Is that one of these situations you might have to take a slight gamble on one of the guys' fantasies?
I won't take a gamble if it means putting their bodies at risk. But of course, the situation we're in, I'll be led by the player, and if the player is prepared to take some kind of risk, I'll go with him. So it'll be down to the player who has the final say. Obviously, I'll take into consideration everything the medical team saying the player says before I make my decisions. But I just thought it made sense to have young Dapo here just in case we need him as well.
What have you made of him and his sort of progress in his times with the reserves and things like that?
I think he's got a huge future, huge potential. He's probably not ready to be through into the deep end just yet, but I think he'd certainly be ready for a cameo. You know, he's come into training and hasn't looked out of place on numerous occasions now. I think the players have took to him, but there's no doubt about it, he'll play for Rangers at some point.
Just quick questions I know I'll get asked. Training here today, no particular reason behind it?
Yeah, a couple of reasons behind it really. Obviously the surface, we've got a few new lads in amongst the squad. You know, the more they can feel the stadium and Ibrox will be better for them. I think they're on the verge of making debuts. Also, we were told by the ground staff that the temperatures were going to drop overnight, which they have. So yeah, just a couple of little minor reasons why, and we've done this on a few occasions. It's nothing really special or anything to report on it really.